Hello, and welcome to our podcast.
I'm Kat Galarraga.
And I'm Gabby Coburn.
And this is Besties Unfiltered.
I did it backwards. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways.
I was just about to say, we're getting so good at that.
Oh, we are. Welcome to our 5th podcast, I think, if we're counting correctly.
Yes.
Whether you are driving to work or going shopping or just listening at home.
Carpooling.
Yeah, we had actually our studio manager said he was listening to our podcast, him and his family, while sitting next to a fire pit. That is cool. I love that.
That's so sweet.
So thank you for everyone's support so far. It's been really fun, a great journey. And
so many good stories last episode too, so thank you guys for participating.
Yeah, and we didn't get to share everyone's, but we promise we will.
We'll do a part 2 for sure.
We're going to do a part 2 on
Me too.
the dating best and worst stories. And if you haven't heard it, go back to the other episode and go listen to that.
That's a must listen.
There's some good stories and some bad stories. And because we're in the month of love, we shared about dating. And this episode, we're going to be sharing about all those rom-coms, romantic movies that kind of set the mood.
Of course.
For Valentine's Day.
It's the best time to watch them.
Yeah, and whether you have a Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day or Dog Valentine's Day.
Whoever is your Valentine, you can watch these amazing movies with.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch these movies. And some people say that movies portray a relationship that can never exist. And I think yes, movies are exaggerated, right? You have characters that are a little bit exaggerated and the situation's exaggerated, but I don't think it portrays something that's never going to happen.
Right.
I think it's there because of entertainment, but the storyline, if you take scrap away all the stuff, the message I think is really valuable. And it's funny because everyone can just kind of take that message in the way that they want.
You interpret the movie however you see fit for you.
Yeah, and Kat here is our movie guru. She is our movie.
I love movies.
Yes. If you have any questions about any movies, any TV shows.
Chick flick shows.
Yeah, primarily chick flicks. Go to Kat, message her on Instagram, and she will talk to you.
You need a movie? DM me. I got you.
Yeah, she's great with that.
This list was so hard to narrow down. You have no idea. So we have like a very long list that we'll probably share on our Instagram. We'll probably post it on stories or a post just so you guys have a go-to list. But we kind of narrowed it down to like our top 10, and we'll see what you guys think of the list as well. And some of them she hasn't seen, or it's been a while since she's watched them, so I'm going to like catch her up on it.
Yeah, Kat kind of made this list for us because I put in like 2 movies, and she's like, that's it? That's all you've watched? And I was like, maybe.
Like, how? I mean, your lifestyle, you're a busy mom on the go. Like, it's probably harder, too.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of movies that I could have watched when I was younger. And I probably did. And I'm that person, like, I need to watch the first 5 to 10 minutes of a movie to remember what happened.
Yeah. Or like, oh, I did see this.
Yeah, I know. And Kat's also really good at knowing actors' names, knowing who's who.
I'm not like the best, but I like the entertainment world.
Yeah, and
it's more like who's wearing what for me, but I know actors associated to outfits too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, everything entertainment and movie and Hollywood, Kat's your person to go to.
It's like a strong suit of mine.
It's your forte.
It's on the resume.
Hey, that's something really good to have on your resume. Good. That's amazing. You could be a Hollywood host on the red carpet with a mic.
Out there. We need some entertainment.
I found your next job.
Yeah. Okay, so first movie on my list, hands down. This might be one of like my top 3 favorite movies too, ever. And it's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Kate Hudson is like the top like rom-com girl in my opinion. She's been in so many of them. I think she's in a few of the ones that we're going to mention, and she's just one of those actresses. Again, her mom's Goldie Hawn, so
what's your favorite thing about her?
Kate Hudson? Yes. Oh my god, what's not to love? I read her book. I love her style. Like, she's an icon in my opinion. I feel like she's just one of those timeless girls. Her mom is the same way too. Like, I feel like Goldie Hawn's like goal is just like she is. They're like healthy girls, wellness. I love their Fabletics. It's started by her too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, know everything.
She's so good.
That's so cool. And you're right, like having your mom has Goldie Hawn, like it's a good role model.
And they have a very similar like acting style. I feel like too. Like contagious smiles, like they're just like that it girl. You know, it's an it factor.
So How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go over kind of like the plot. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If not, this is just like a brief like rundown. So this girl, she's like the it girl in the city. She's an editor at like a magazine, but she's more of a journalist at heart. So her heart is kind of set on, you know, bigger stories other than How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which is the article that she has to write about and research. So she goes out with the girls and she meets this guy. But plot twist, the guy is also doing a bet within his company and him trying to get further in his career too. So they're kind of both doing the same thing to each other.
Not knowing
at the same time. And it kind of develops from there. You got to watch it to see what happens if you haven't already.
Now that you mentioned like the synopsis.
Yes, it's so good.
I remember now. That is a really good
So she's
movie.
trying to get rid of him. He's trying to stay with her. And it's just, and it's Matthew McConaughey is the main actor.
I like him.
The love interest, which then together they also did another movie called, I think, like Fool's Gold or Rush Gold, something like that.
I remember
but
that.
they have really good chemistry too in movies.
Oh, I like that a lot.
And then the second one's one of your picks.
Let me say. Ooh, okay, so this is my all-time favorite movie of my college days, so to speak, because I have favorite movies, but like different eras in my life.
Yeah.
So this, and again, we're doing this podcast to see, like, do romantic comedies, are they there for you to give you hope and believe in love and kind of give you this ideal of, like, you can have a relationship.
Yeah.
I know there's TV shows and movies that kind of portray something else in relationships, like the guy's dating like 3 girls, and you're like, it's kind of sad.
Or it's like the Bachelor guy that like never wants to take people seriously. Or I mean, every movie is kind of, you know, you have your genre of movies.
Yeah. But these are our favorites. Like kind of after you watch the whole thing, you're like, oh my gosh, love is real.
Oh, it's so cute.
So mine is Friends with Benefits with Mila Kunis, which I love her. I don't think there's anything that she's in that I don't love. Like, she's such a great person. And the fact that she's married to...
You kind of remind me of her a little bit. You give me Mila Kunis vibes, for sure. Like, look at her. Right? Don't you kind of see it?
What a compliment.
Isn't she part Ukrainian, too?
She is.
Yeah, see?
We have the Ukrainian nose.
There it is.
But I like that movie because I watched it during college and maybe before that, but it kind of gave me that same. It was relatable, and even though they were trying like to keep it friends, it grew into something else.
I feel like you can't do that. Like, it's so hard, especially once you like keep doing it for a while. Like, those feelings are gonna grow from one or the other, in my opinion.
And now that I'm thinking about it, that's how Nico and I were.
Really?
Yes, we were friends for 2 years.
There you go.
And I wonder if now it's because I watched that movie. I watched that movie so much. I was probably like, oh, this is how I'm going to live my love life. Yeah. And I did. I manifested this. But yeah, that one's a really good one.
That's a really good movie. Fun. And that was with Justin Timberlake. They had he's not like the best actor, like, movie-wise. Like, he's not going to win an Oscar anytime soon. But their chemistry was so good. He was great in that movie.
It was good. It wasn't awkward or anything
to
watch.
It was really cute. It was a really cute
that
movie.
One was fine. I keep I'm wearing a blazer right now, and it has these gold buttons on the cuffs.
The buttons at the table.
And it's hitting the table, and I'm sorry if you hear that. But I love this.
They look cute.
Thank you. I love this blazer.
Okay, so Friends with Benefit. Wrap it up. Do you want me to kind of like do, again, the title kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, they were friends.
They actually meet because she's a, like an HR headhunter. Yeah, and she's looking for somebody to fit this GQ role, director, and he fits the bill, gets him to the door. He ends up taking the job. They end up being, he's new to the town. She's kind of showing him around
because he's like from an outsider. So she's like showing him around. They keep it professional, but then they don't keep it professional.
Exactly.
And it just kind of escalates from there, and it's fantastic.
And then become friends with benefits.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they stay friends or more benefits.
Yeah. Either way, it's a win-win.
Either way, it was great. Okay, so my next pick was, I'll let you do that one so then I can do that. I'll do Legally Blonde, which is, I mean, talk about girl power.
Yeah.
Elle Woods is an icon. She is such a go-getter. And I love how in the beginning she's kind of this, like, typical ditzy blonde that they portray, especially back then. Like, they really wanted to emphasize on that and see how far she comes in the movie, which is absolutely amazing. She becomes, this big independent lawyer and attorney. And I don't want to give it up if you haven't seen it yet. They've made 3 of these movies now. There's 3 Legally Blondes now.
Yeah.
That did so well.
I'm sure everyone has, I feel like everyone has.
But yeah, if you're watching this podcast, I feel like you've seen Legally Blonde. It's in our demographic to have seen this movie. So Elle Woods you're an icon. She had to be in this movie. It's such a feel-good movie. If you're feeling down, going through a breakup, this is a perfect, like, Galentine's movie, I feel like, in my opinion.
Girl power.
Top Galentine movie.
Girl boss, girl power.
Yep.
Cute clothes.
You do you, independent woman. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to go with it is romantic comedy. There is, like, laughing in it. But there's two movies that, one that I recently watched, I told you about.
Yes.
That I've never seen it before.
It's
and one
so
that
good.
I've always watched, and, like, since I was a little girl. And so that one is Grease.
So good.
Woo.
Classic.
Sexy, hot, fun, relatable.
Dancing.
And I like it because the storyline. So it's a girl from goes to a new high school, and she,
the new girl.
She joins the Pink Ladies, and which is she joins a girl clique. The guy, what do you call that in high school?
It's like the bad boy.
Yeah, the bad boy, the jock of the high school. Not the jock, but the bad boy.
Yeah, bad boy.
The jock is the other guy.
Yeah.
So John Travolta's the bad boy, has his clique. He sees her. He actually met her in the summertime.
Yep.
Had a fling, and then he knew she was leaving. And
so fast.
and then she comes back and she enters high school, and then she's like this little goody girl. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, guys.
Yeah, it's really good.
But I like the storyline because it could be you can have a really good relationship and start even if you're two completely different people.
Completely different, yeah.
The message I got is that you can bring the best out of both of them. Yeah. So you see her change and get out of her shell,
comfort zone,
confident in herself. He made also with the help of her friends.
Yeah.
But brought this confidence out in her, as well as she kind of reeled him in. It was get your crap together. Yeah.
You can't be a T-bird for life.
T-bird.
Get your act together.
Yeah, and I thought that was such a good message. Yeah. And it's fun, dancing. That's one of my
It's a really good movie. Yeah. And just recently, Olivia Newton-John just passed away, who plays Sandy in the movie. So rest in peace, Olivia. You're an icon.
Forever.
So amazing. And she was actually local. I think she lived in either Palm Beach Gardens or Jupiter area. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Fun fact, I've met her and I helped style her for an event. Yeah.
Insert emoji blown up brain
She's
thing.
the sweetest human being ever. She was so sweet. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
It breaks my heart, I know.
Yeah, that's also a great experience.
It was.
What was that like? Can I ask you? Okay, we pause on this show really quick. I can't believe you met her.
She was a lovely woman. You've seen it all, especially if you work in retail or styling. You see all types of personalities. This was actually through an internship of mine that I did locally with a wardrobe stylist, and that was one of her clients, and she was an absolute love to work with, and I was so grateful to meet her.
That is fantastic. Yeah. What an experience.
I know. And this wasn't even planned. I didn't know her list. I didn't even know she was going to bring up Grease, but I was like, let's take a moment to just channel Olivia because she's an icon, and it just warms my heart.
Wow, that's fantastic. What a good story, Kat.
Yeah,
thank you.
She was sweetheart. The best way to describe her, sweetheart.
I love when, they actually are nice people. And, I've only met a handful of people, but when actors are genuinely, they're just human.
Super sweet.
They are just human, and famous people are just human. Which kind of, you can go ahead, and then mine leads into that comment I just made.
Okay. Which one did you want to go with?
Oh, I was going to do the last one.
Okay.
I skipped all the way. I'm a bad girl.
Oh, now I'm like, which one do I pick? Which one do I go with?
I know. We have so many on our list.
I have to do a Julia Roberts one. So It's a toss-up between Pretty Woman and My Best Friend's Wedding. They're both iconic. But that's my throwback one. Since you did Grease, I feel like Pretty Woman should be kind of necessary. Yeah. It's a little provocative considering her role in the movie, but her and Richard Gere, again, they've done several movies together. They did that other wedding one that was really, really good. I can't think of the name, but it was really good. And then My Best Friend's Wedding is another classic. It's kind of crazy to think about, but you're rooting for the other woman in the movie instead of the woman that he's kind of marrying and in a relationship with and trying to work things out. Yeah. So she's literally his best man and ends up finding out that she has feelings for him, and it's is the wedding gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? So, but it's weird because you're rooting for the person that he's not going to marry and end up liking her more than the person, but then the story develops and it's really, really good.
Wait, what's a good takeaway from that? From Okay, if you're looking for love right now.
I think I would kind of give, hopefully you've seen the movie. So my take on that movie was it was more so she felt like she was losing her best friend. It wasn't that she was in love with him. Like, she's going to love him as a friend, as a person in her life. Yeah. But he wasn't the right person for her. And she had to learn to kind of let him go and let him be happy, which is very hard to do. And sometimes you have to be the bigger person.
Yeah, and if you're going through something similar to like that, you know, sometimes it's I don't want to say frozen, let it go, but it's true. Like, if you let something go, it can either open the door for an opportunity that you didn't know was there because you're so focused on this one thing, or it can also, if you let it go, that person can realize, whoa, I just lost, you know, my best friend, and maybe they meant something more than that. So that's a good movie. Yeah, if you're going through a hard time, that's a good movie too.
It's good. It's really, and they even have like a really catchy song in the middle of the movie too at like a dinner. It's a very good movie. Feel good, dramatic, comedy. Cameron Diaz is in it. Julia Roberts is in it. There's a lot of familiar faces in it.
I love Cameron Diaz.
So good. So funny.
I feel like in a lot of movies, she kind of plays like a similar character every single movie.
She's in a lot of rom-coms.
Yeah.
That Happens in Vegas, The Other Woman. Like, she's in a lot of good movies, too. So if you like Cameron Diaz, those are really good ones to watch as well. You're going to do one of these?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do Notting Hill.
Oh, yeah.
With Julia Roberts. I just saw this movie. I know it's an old movie. I just saw this movie. And I loved it. I really did. And if you haven't seen it, it's about...
It's Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts.
Yes, Hugh Grant, which I love. And oh, God, a British accent, first of all. Romantic.
The accent.
Oh, the accent. Some people can pull off an accent. Some people can't. It's okay. But the accents, even the guy... he has a roommate, and he's, oh, God.
The mess.
He is...
Terrifying. My worst nightmare.
Yes, he's just not you would not like to look at him 24/7, but when an accent, he was hilarious.
Yeah,
I was like, this guy's the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Julia Roberts is actually a famous actor in the movie, and Hugh Grant is...
Like a bookstore owner, like a business owner.
Yes. He owns a bookstore, and she... goes to London because I don't know if she's doing a shoot or a award ceremony. She walks into the bookstore, kind of covering, you know, like homeless, like undercover. Yeah. And she meets him. He has no idea who she is, and there starts a chemistry, right? And they start getting this. And then what I like about this movie is they're from two completely different worlds. Yeah. Like, she is famous, well-known, has a lot of money. He is just
like a small town
neighborhood. Yeah. He had
close to his family and friends.
Yeah, his family's super close. They all have dinner together every once in a while. And he's very not into being in the spotlight. Yeah. And it's an important part in the scene, but when you rip away all those differences, they are still just human, like I said before, but it's just a boy and a girl who love each other. And I think that's so beautiful because you might like someone and you're like, oh, they'll never love me, I'll never be in their eyes. But that doesn't, just because of a status, it shouldn't stop you for pursuing, you know, your feelings. And I love that. I think that was so nice.
Again, it's back to that chemistry. A lot of people, again, in movies, it might be a little bit more exaggerated, but you feel when you click with somebody. I always tell my friends, I'm like, or especially if you're going on a first date, like, you know, within like first 5 to 10 minutes, I like him, I get those butterflies, it's like that crush feeling, or you're like, oh, this could go somewhere. Don't like drill people off the beginning too in a date. Like, just, you know, get to know them and they'll be genuine and sincere back, hopefully.
Yeah, like I hear a lot of stories. Like, I have a friend who took someone off her, like, went on a first date and he wore an ugly pair of shoes and she was like, no.
No, don't do that.
So I think there's probably other things. Yeah. But that's like, you know, if it's just, you can change shoes, you can buy new shoes.
Right. You know. That shouldn't be like a red flag.
Yeah. But I love that the movies, they over exaggerate, but they show you this really great movie line.
Right. Okay. So now I'm going to go into not so like rom-com, but just like a feel good, like Galentine's Day, girls' night. So there's 3 that I'm going to kind of tie in together. So Princess Diaries, they're actually going to come out with a 3rd one, which I'm so excited for. Anne Hathaway, that was like her first, I feel like, big coming out role.
And it has Julie Andrews, who I love.
Who was Mary Poppins, in case you guys don't know who Julie Andrews is.
And The Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. She's, done a ton of stuff, but those are, like, the standouts for me. But amazing cast as well. Now they're coming out with the third one. Does really, really well. Clueless is, like, one of my top 3 movies. I absolutely love Alicia Silverstone's in it, main character. And it's, again, like, high school movie, cute, fun, rom-com. And Crossroads, which is 3 girls that started out being super close when they were younger, like middle schoolish, kind of go their separate ways in high school. And then they go on this road trip adventure. All 3 of them kind of want to do different things, but it has Zoe Saldana in it, Britney Spears, and I can't remember who Mimi is in the movie. I can't remember her name, but she's been in a lot of things too. She was in Orange is the New Black. You've seen Crossroads, you know who I'm talking about. But amazing. Absolutely amazing. This is like one of the movies my sisters and I watch all the time. And it's like such a random movie that you don't think of, but it's so overlooked.
And I love those movies that you can just press play and just have it in the background.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's still nice to like.
It's like a good get ready movie too. Yeah. It's such a fun movie.
So okay, how do you tie it? So like, give me something for romanticness or like the rom-com or like Galentine's Day. How are we going to tie that in with Galentine's Day?
For the 3 movies I just said? Okay, so they're just all perfect for Galentine's Day. Girl power, all 3 of them. It's not so much like a love interest. Like, yes, they have, a love interest in the movie, but it's not about the love or it's not about finding love. It's about them and them finding themselves. In all 3 ones.
Loving yourself.
Yep.
That is so
Very
key.
important.
Yeah. And, sometimes we get caught up and we want to be perfect for somebody else. But if you focus on yourself first and love yourself, then other people will love you.
100%.
And be true to yourself. So those are good movies if you need self-love.
All of the above. So I hope you guys enjoyed that list. I'm not really sure how many we talked about. We talked about our favorites, different genres, different actors in the movie that we hope that you like too. We'll put a list of our top 20 in our Instagram and the bio on YouTube.
Yes.
And let us know what your favorite movies are. I could use all the movies. I'm a movie girl. Gabby needs to catch up on the movies, so send us your movie recs.
Yes, send us your movie. If you have any special comments on movies that I need to know about, let me know. And then it kind of ties into, so are movies out there to help us believe in love and know that it's there?
I hope so. I'm a romantic.
Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed.
And don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Bye.